Some of the stories making headlines this morning. I can bring in Afia Hagen and Pete Price to have a quick look through what we've got this morning. Pete, I love how you do that. You're always changing your shirt. Lovely stuff. Right, let's crack through it. We haven't got loads of time. I want to get through these if we can. Pete, let's start with you. Front page of the Daily Express. The headline there, BBC faces revolt if licence fee rises. What's that about?
Indeed, the Silver Voice campaign has decided that enough is enough. If the licence goes up, there's going to be a revolution in this country. And apparently a lot of over 75s do not pay their licence fee. The fees are costing more than a week's basic state pension to a lot of people. And really, I do believe that they should give the licence fee to people over 75 because they've worked all their life in this country and they've had a bad time over money and pensions. By the way, there's mine, ready to post after the show today. So I'm paying my licence fee. So I'm one of the honest ones. But, you know, it is crazy and it is a minefield. And will they get rid of the BBC's licence fee and make them go commercial? We do not know. But right now, it's too expensive. Give the over 75s a free licence.
I think, as the paper says on its front page as well, it is scrapped for most over 75. So let's see how that plays out. Afia, let's look at this story you picked on the front of the Mirror. And this is a campaign that was run. Mirror say that it's their campaign, but a lot of politicians got behind it as well, of course, about trying to ban the import of trophies, or the heads and body parts of animals that people have killed.
Absolutely. The Mirror have long been spearheading this campaign to ban the import or the bringing back of trophies, as you call them, body parts that are a result of killing wild animals in game resorts, usually in southern Africa. And I'm sure we can all remember the case of Cecil the lion, who was shot by a US dentist in 2015. And that was kind of one of the catalysts of this campaign. So basically, there was a private member's bill that has gone through Parliament and is now at the House of Lords, and that prevents the import of any of these trophies. So you have people who go to places in South Africa. They say that the money that they pay to hunt these animals goes towards conservation, which is a pretty dubious claim. And then they can bring that the heads and the body parts, you know, hang them up in their houses as, you know, a sort of pride piece. But that has now been banned. And so there should be no more of going to South Africa to kill these beautiful animals and have their heads hung up on your walls. That has been banned, thank goodness.
Yeah, and Pete, you're shaking your head. I won't get you to comment on that, but I'll take by the shake of the head that you are fully behind the decision to make that ban legal. All right, let's go on. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Can't understand the mentality of people.
It is hard to understand sometimes. Right, let's move to the inside page, and this is one I think we can all agree on, and this is inside pages of the Eye. And Pete, you're loving this one, and I am too. At the age of 26, children finally agree that mummy knows best.
Mummy's always known best. They are the best people in the world. It's Mother's Day tomorrow. To everyone that's still got their mum, look after your mum. My mum said to me, get a proper job before you go into show business. I went into hairdressing, catering, then found I could do a job without smelling of chips, and here I am today. But mums do know best.
I'm glad your mum gave you that strong advice to have a varied career, Pete. And Afua, I mean, as Pete said, it is Mother's Day tomorrow, so a shout-out to all the mums. I'll do that again tomorrow on Mother's Day. But it is interesting to see that it takes until people are 26 to finally realise. I guess that's just maturity, right?
Yes, I think it is, certainly. I mean, my daughter's 11. I'm not sure if she's ever going to say that I know best. But I thought the best bit actually in this article was where it said that people are around, or women are around 30 when they say they start turning into their mother. And I must admit that I remember very clearly the day that I realised I was absolutely turning into my mum, even though I said I never would. But shout out, Mum, I know you're watching. Good morning.
So if I just ask you, Afia, what does turning into your mum mean? Is that a bad thing?
No, it's not a bad thing, but I remember, like, I say all her phrases, I do all the things she used to do, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just have completely turned into my mother. And my brother and my dad absolutely agreed.
Imitation.
Like, you've been doing this for years.
Imitation's the sincerest form of flattery, Afia, so your mum will be very, very proud of you. All right, let's move on quickly then to the next story. And it's a bit more serious now, but let's take a look at this. This is one you picked out, Afia. This is page 4 of The Guardian about the dangers of vaping. And anyone that's been anywhere and seen sort of teenagers around, They're all at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And some really shocking statistics in this piece, actually. At the moment, it says that vaping is having some real growth around 11 to 15-year-olds, with 9% of them using e-cigarettes, up 6% from 2018, and 18% of 15-year-olds vaping. And if the rapid growth in vaping amongst the under 18s continues in the way that it's going, in 5 years, nearly all children under the age of 18 will be vaping, which is absolutely shocking to me. Research also shows that a lot of these kids did not smoke beforehand, so they're just taking up vaping because it's seen as trendy. But let's remember that some of these vapes do have nicotine in them, and they also have chemicals and substances in them that we don't know the effects on the lungs and other parts of the body because they just haven't been around that for that long, and the research hasn't been done.
Yeah, we have to leave it there, Afia. Pete, thank you. But that is the point, isn't it? We haven't had these things around for long enough, so we don't know what the damage